Yo, what is up YouTube? We are back again with another Rust video, and in this video today I'm gonna be showing you guys how to build the smallest and simplest trap base that is out there. Let's get right into it. If you are not already subscribed, feel free to hit that subscribe button because I post Rust content all the time and you do not want to miss it. So this trap base has been around for a very long time. It's nothing new, but to this day, it still works amazingly. And if you want to see this base in action, I have a link to that video in the description below where I had caught tons of people in this base.
That's fucking badass. Oh shit. Oh shit.
But let's get right into the build. First thing you're going to want to do is go ahead and place two low foundations as close to the ground as possible, right next to each other, and then directly behind it put two raised foundations. Immediately after, you want to take the lower foundations and just surround them with half walls. And then just put a wall around the whole base, and on the front side towards the lower foundations, put a door. Slap up your roof. Now, depending on how high you want to upgrade it, I recommend either doing stone or sheet metal, because once you get into heavy armor, the foundations are a lot easier to notice that they're false foundations in front. Once you get done upgrading your whole base, you want to put your false floor in front of the doorway, and then just put the rest of the door frames in place as I do. And don't forget to fill that gaping hole by the front door with a half wall. When placing your TC, don't make the same mistake I did and put it towards the left where they can bow it. Make sure to put it closer to the doorway by the drop down so they can't reach it once you have your shotgun traps in place. Place all your doors down, and I highly recommend doing wood, only because you want to make it look more like you don't know what you're doing, so it's more enticing for people to run in and think they can take advantage of a new player. Also, stay away from the code locks. You want to stick to key locks. That way it makes it look like you're a solo player and you don't have multiple people living in this space. And to continue making this space look like we have no idea what we're doing, go ahead and put a foundation in the front of the door and then just put some stairs going up to the front. We've all done it. We were all new at one point. Now for the trap of this base. All you want to do is take a tier 1 workbench, place it right in front of this doorway, well, half doorway, snug up against the wall. That way, now you can actually leave the door open, and if you go to the drop down section of the base, you can actually close the door from down there. And once they walk in and you trapped them in the base, you can actually shoot through this opening underneath the tier 1 workbench. And on top of that, for the normal person coming in, they're not going to notice that doorway that's underneath the tier 1 workbench. If you're coming in and you're straight up looking at the loot that is in front of you, and you're not even going to notice anything around you, so they're not going to notice that there's literally a shooting hole right by their ankles. And when it comes to putting boxes and furnaces in this space, I highly recommend that while the trap is active, put a live furnace in the corner, because then when somebody kills you, or if they come into your base, they're going to want to sprint in, grab whatever's in that furnace and try getting out quickly. And on top of that, put some boxes. It just makes it look more enticing. And most importantly, put a sleeping bag right in front of the boxes in the furnace. That way, if you decide that you want to sit at the front of the door and become bait, once they kill you, they're going to think they have you on a timer, and they're going to come flying in there and try to break your sleeping bag. That way you can't spawn back, and it gets them every time. Now the last trap you got to add is just 2 shotgun traps right above the TC facing towards that doorway. That way they can't just come sprinting in. That stink. And also, so if they decide they want to come break those boxes, they'll get shot well before they can even reach them. Now this whole drop down area, this is only reachable once they go through all the doors in your base. So this will be the last place they can get to, but this will be essentially where you live. This is where you're going to want to place your bed, place your loot room, all your boxes. If you do electricity, this is where you're going to want to keep your battery. And speaking of electricity, if you want to go the extra mile, because sometimes when you trap somebody, if they're good and they know what they're doing, they can shoot back down through that hole, and then it goes south really quickly. So all you need is a solar panel, a battery, a switch, and a Tesla coil. Just slap that bad boy right there behind that door and next to the workbench, and once the door is open, you will never see it. So essentially, when they're coming into the base, they won't even know it's there. Once you close the door behind them, they will, but it's a little too late for them then. And that is how you build the smallest, simplest trap base. Now, it was fun to build and it was fun to live in, and I hope you guys have just as much fun as I did. I'll be doing more videos like these, so make sure you hit the subscribe button. I will catch y'all in the next video. Peace.